Murat Aslan, who can join us live as well. Thanks so much for speaking to us, Murat. In the last hour or so, France has come out again, indicating that it could step in to somehow kind of fill the void that it believes the United States has left to protect YPG forces in Syria that it credits with defeating Daesh. Let me ask you first, where would that leave France and Turkey? Again, seeming like a NATO ally is working against the interests of another NATO ally.
Actually, the best course would have been to have both France, Turkey, and the other coalition members against Daesh to work together on the ground. But threat perceptions and actually priorities, political priorities, are different, it's clear. Think about the presence of YPG, especially the meaning of YPG for Turkey, and also the meaning of Daesh for France. But I think historical tendencies, the quest of French leadership, maybe in the Middle East, maybe this is the quest, pushes France to protect YPG in the Middle East. And it seems, for me, nonsense, because if you are an ally under the umbrella of NATO, that means you have to support each other, especially if you recognize PKK as a terrorist organization in France, and YPG is an extension of, PKK. So we will see. But this claim, this argument will not stop Turkey to start an operation against YPG, because Turkey perceives the presence of YPG as a matter of survival, which means Turkey will start whatever France claims.
Okay, I mean, France can say what it's saying now, but realistically, how far would France actually go to protect the YPG on the ground in Syria?
It's clear that France cannot provide arms or logistics to YPG as the United States did, which means the capacity of France in the Middle East, especially in Syria, is not that much developed in comparison to the United States. And second thing is that there is one more issue that France does not, count. It is the people's will, because we know that especially Arabian tribes in Syria supports the advancement of Free Syrian Army and Turkey, which means if France starts to support YPG, there will be no popular support on the ground, especially in the cities at the east of Euphrates.
Okay. Let me ask you this, though. I mean, Turkey has said repeatedly that it has the power, along with the Free Syrian Army, to defeat Daesh in Syria. Does it, first of all, in your opinion? And if so, why didn't the United States believe that in the first place? And why doesn't France believe it, in a sense, now?
Actually, there is not only one reason for Turkey to enter Syria. The first thing is to secure the borders, as you have mentioned at the beginning of the news. But the second thing is that Turkey is determined to have all terrorist organizations be diminished in Syrian ground because they pose threat. And now we have a compromise with the United States and Turkey to align their policies and leave the ground to Turkey. The expectation from the US side is to have Turkey completely destroy the Daesh formation in Syria, and the purpose of Turkey is to completely destroy both PKK and Daesh, which means Turkey is bound by the will of her own, which means Turkey will enter Syria for many reasons, not only for the desires of the United States or France or other actors.
Okay, Murat, we will unfortunately have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us with that from Gaziantep.